There. So, Justin, what do you think about this running back situation?
Well, it seems like, I talked about him earlier in the year, and I even talked about him on one of the videos with Chancellor I did. Emmett Johnson, he's a redshirt freshman, but I think he could be extremely good. I think if we get him on the field, he's going to be able to create a lot of things. Kind of like I'm excited for him and Billy Kemp, especially coming into the season. So in one breath, it's exciting that we get to see a little bit of that youth that we have. But the third one is true freshman Quentin Ives, I believe, and so that's a very inexperienced running back room. So it's going to be heavy on Grant, and if he goes down, we're in a tight situation. One of the things that I think will help is, of course, it doesn't seem like Rule is going to stop the running back or the quarterback running usage. He seems to have doubled down on that, like he wants to continue that. So, we're still going to have those guys that all can run too. But yeah, it's just the inexperience is scary, but it's exciting to see. Like I said, Emmett Johnson. I've been really wanting to see him, but you feel for Gabe Irvin. He's, him and Ramir have done everything the right way since they got to the university, and just, especially Ramir being a senior, it's really rough for him. So, but yeah, it's a next man up, kind of like they've been doing with everything, the quarterback especially. So we'll see how it comes along with the young guys.
Greg, I lose track on this, but in regards to your recruiting rounds, are you a little bit more familiar with any of these guys from following them in high school?
I mean, not really. Guys that weren't around our local area.
I watched a little bit of film on Emmett.
Yeah, I mean, all you can do is watch film on the guys, and obviously a lot of high school film always looks really good to the untrained eye. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a powerful back, and he's added some weight since he got here. Same with Quentin Ives. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you got two guys that have been playing on the scout team that have been given the defense fits. So, good for them. Now they get thrown in the mix there, and that's your ticket's going to get punched one of these days, and you're going to get your chance. And now these guys step up into a role that they haven't been used to yet since they've been here. And, the whole team has complete confidence in any of these guys that carry the rock. So,
yep. I can't remember if it was Emmett Johnson specifically, but I think it was him that was in that zone kind of run scheme, that kind of one cut zone run scheme. So I can't speak to it specifically. I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but yeah, overall, just Emmett Johnson, like he said, put on some size, and he's just, he looks every bit of the part. Yeah, it's just seeing him get out there and seeing how he looks in real game action.
The good thing about it is with Emmett Johnson is that he's been in the rotation practice anyway with the top room right there. So
because we were hearing about him out of fall camp,
he reps as everybody else had leading into the season.
Yep.
Folks, leave the comments and questions there in the chat, and keep in mind, of course, the super chats pop up and are easier to spot, and we appreciate the support in any such way. Like the videos, get the videos out there on social media, so you can take this link and you can just share it out there on social media. A lot of people don't know that we're doing this every Tuesday. Imagine that. So don't just be selfish and hog it up for yourself, but share the wealth out there. Share the wealth. So Tuesday, 6 Central Time with all of you. Well, we ready to attack this quarterback situation. Heinrich Harberg, 14-24 for $158 through the air, 2 touchdowns. And of course, on the ground, he logged it 21 times for 98 yards and a touchdown. Greg, what are your thoughts about what Harburg showed against Northern Illinois?
Hey, he looked like he did when he was at Kearney Catholic, when I watched him play in person. He did it all. He had a great night. He rose up to the occasion, and, they ran him quite a bit, which, you kind of see that this offense is kind of geared around the quarterback run. And, he protected the ball. The one turnover was only the defense kind of crushed in on him or caved in on him and created a turnover. But he took care of the ball when he ran it, and he ran tough. I mean, he likes the contact. I mean, this is a kid that was the gunner, on the frickin' kickoff team and the punt team for his high school, as still being the starting quarterback and played a lot of safety as well. So, Heinrich likes to play, and he finally got his shot here, and he looked really good in my mind. I mean, not a lot of rust there from the last time I saw him play an actual game. And then, on top of that, Jeff Sims actually practiced in full today, according to Marcus Satterfield in our press conference earlier this afternoon. So, there's going to be a decision to be made, and Matt Rule is not going to make that decision. We're not going to know until kickoff, really, on Saturday against Louisiana Tech. So,
yep, I just a little bit on Harburg too. Just I think it can't be understated when he did have that fumble. The composure that he had. I mean, I know we had some drives there in the first quarter. The offense was still seemed trying to catch a rhythm, but I saw him on the side, on the sideline with Jeff Sims. Sims was, actually kind of being a leader, coaching him up and helping him. And you can see Harburg do like this and say, "I need to calm down." And so as soon as he did and settled in, the offense hit a rhythm. It was the short intermediate pass game. We had some shots down the field, but they were overthrown. But it's really the short intermediate pass game, and then a lot of run. So I kind of liked the rhythm that they fell into, and once they hit it, they kind of were in a pocket. So
at that particular moment, though, the defense rose up, and we got your back, buddy, and stopped them and got the ball back, and
exactly
really changed the momentum of that game after that turnover, which was not his fault whatsoever.
No, yeah, exactly. He got his arm hit while he was throwing it. He's just a football player. That's the best way I can describe him. It seemed to me like he was much quicker with his processing and decision making and better with his decision making than I saw from Sims the first 2 weeks. But just being more decisive, even without the snap issues and stuff like that, just being quick and more decisive and running the ball when he needs to pick up the first down and has an opportunity to run. There's no thinking. He's just taking off when he needs to take off. He's throwing when the pass is there. He's not trying to do too much. And he let the game come to him. And in a situation like that, where you got Matt Rule's, we're about to potentially come out 0-3. If we lose to Northern Illinois, good luck dealing with the backlash from that. And Harburg's put in that situation, first home game, gets Matt Rule's first win, and doesn't make any big mistakes. I mean, you got to give credit to the kid for that. And for that reason, I think he should be just the guy moving forward.
And you're talking about a guy that, like, when fall camp started, he was fielding questions about, are you going to move to tight end? Are you going to move to fullback? Those kind of questions. And, Coach Rule talked to him and said, I think you're a good quarterback and want you to play quarterback. So made all the difference in the world.
Exactly.
So I'll start with Greg, and then Justin, you can jump in.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys were in charge, so you get pretty significant pay hike. What is Matt Rule pulling in? Maybe $7 million a year, whatever it is.
8.
Yeah.
8. So he's got a decision here. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe just riding with Jeff Sims regardless, based on what you know out of Harburg, who's been on campus, obviously, with this school for a long time.
Years,
yeah. So he knows I shouldn't say he knows the offense, because it's a new offense for everybody. He knows his teammates. He knows the school. But anyway, he puts up a pretty strong game. It's Northern Illinois. He wasn't asked to light the world on fire. Also gave us a Jeff Sims-like running line in the box score as well. Is there any chance that there's a quarterback competition?
I think so. Definitely there is. And I think you're going to see both him and Sims play if Sims is healthy. They're both very effective in the run game, and you're not losing anything playing one over the other. And if Heinrich is going to take care of the ball, and if Jeff Sims continues to turn the ball over, you're not going to see much more of him. So, yeah, there's a big quarterback competition going on right now. That's why they're not going to name a starter until the very end.
Yeah, he basically just said all three guys are going to be ready to go. He's not showing his cards at all. But yeah, you definitely. I mean, Sims. I still haven't given up on Sims in terms of ability, but you run a risk of making a huge mistake if you run Sims out there and it becomes the same issue and we lose again. Then people start questioning rules decisions.
Turn the ball over 3 more times in a game.
I think the biggest factor is the fact that the offense actually caught a rhythm. I think in the first 2 games, we had no idea what the offensive identity was. And we finally found that with Harberg. How do we then pivot that to Sims? Even though it's Louisiana Tech, we still need this momentum of this game going into Michigan badly. I think you got to roll with him and let him get another game of experience under his belt. And since the offense was under flow and under rhythm under him, you gotta roll with that. But
whoever you're going to see play against Louisiana Tech, that's who you're going to see play against Michigan.
Exactly. So that's got to be his mindset moving in. So, and even though Sims is a full participant, I mean, those ankle injuries are still, they're not ever healed until weeks and weeks out. So you always run that risk too, that maybe he's not a full go, but even if he's not 100%, it has to be Harberg. Even if he is, I still think it has to be Harberg. It's just, there's no way you bring Sims back in and have to restart this offense and find a rhythm. Just, we waste that game experience of Northern Illinois outside of the other position players. But, Harberg's got to be the guy. I think he will be. I think Rule is still, of course he's protecting Sims and stuff like that. But I think Harberg's going to end up being the guy. I don't think there's any way he goes with Sims.
I disagree. I think if Sims is 100%, then you don't lose your job to injury, and I think he would be the guy if he's 100% to start the game.
With the way Rule talks,
play the whole game.
With the way Rule talks, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I just feel like he has to roll Harberg. That's just my opinion.
I know that they haven't given up on Jeff Sims.
No, absolutely not. No, and neither have I. Sims is a great talent, but it's a matter of the timing with. We have 1 game to get right for the Michigan game. I think that's the big thing here. Is it's not like we have 3 tune-up games. We have like 1 and then right into Michigan. And it's having that 2 games, especially with all these young key pieces, having 2 games of camaraderie and, rapport is going to be more helpful than Sims coming in for 1 game and then rolling that into Michigan, in my opinion, because I don't know if the play disparity is enough to counter that.
For some reason, I've got nothing to back it up. I tend to lean in Greg's direction in regards to, I think Jeff Sims is, as soon as he is cleared to play, and if he's out there practicing right now, then I think he's going to be on the field as the starting quarterback.
Yeah, go back to last week when Matt Rule volunteered the information that, if Sims is healthy, he's our guy. They'd be going with him.
And I will clarify, I was talking about like if the ankle too is not like fully ready, especially, but yeah, because what Sims or what Rule said last week is like when he's healthy, he's our guy. Nothing has changed. So yeah,
he was the emergency third quarterback in that Northern Illinois game anyway.
Yeah, I guess just dealing with ankle injuries myself. They always linger.
Worst ankles of anybody of all time.
They always linger. I'm still dealing with them from a year and a half ago.
That's because you're out there breaking too many ankles of the opponents, Greg.
I'm a little old for that nowadays.
Too many stop and cuts and all that back in your day. Well, I'll put it this way, because I think Greg's onto something. Well, I know he's onto something in regards to the succession that Rule, in a sense, missed on the opportunity to replace Sims for just poor play. So we hung with him throughout that Colorado game. for the most part. And then he got hurt at some point. At what point did he get hurt? It was late.
Yeah, it was in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was really late in that game.
That's when Harberg came in and he threw a touchdown to Fidone.
Yeah. So in a sense, he can't. Yeah.
From what I heard too, Sims wanted to go back in, but they held him out.
And I don't like necessarily, again, it's with Sims, the talent, the upside I still think is with Sims. I still think Sims has the higher ceiling, but I think Harberg has the higher floor. And I think it's going to be a matter of which route they want to take. Do they want to go with the higher ceiling and hope that, we can pull some of these upsets, or do they want to go and see if Harberg can just consistently put up numbers and still can pull some of these upsets and stuff like that? So I think that's what we're juggling here. We got the younger quarterback with the upside, and then we have the one here that just played a good game and is just a solid football player all around.
Greg, you mentioned the Thomas Fidone touchdown reception against Colorado. He gets another one against Northern Illinois, and that's what all the hype was about when he was back in high school and being recruited and signed, and that's what Nebraska fans have been waiting for. And here he is, starting to get into the flow, feel healthy, and show the kind of player and talent he is.
Yeah, it's good to see too. I mean, he was literally 10 feet away from me in the end zone when he caught that touchdown.
That's cool.
And it was pretty cool to see the celebration and the look on his face. It's like finally, 3 years of turmoil of not being able to get on the field, and with the injuries at the wide receiver position, all of a sudden now Thomas Fidone's poised now to be that go-to guy, and that's another nice thing with the combination that he has with Heinrich Harberg, is that they've been playing together since high school. They played together on the same 7-on-7 team for years at the Warren Academy, and traveled around the country playing with each other. And they were former roommates when they got here as well. So they have a very good chemistry with the two of them, which is also another interesting aspect of that quarterback controversy that we've been talking about.
Yep. That was a cool moment. Yeah. And like you said, Fidone's establishing himself as, started to, finally establish himself as like that top target that they can go to when they need, a conversion or, red zone, even that streak up the seam, where he caught that touchdown. It was just, yeah, I think Fidone is going to be the big key to this offense moving forward. So whoever is that quarterback has to make sure that they have a rapport built with him and use him steadily.
Yeah, that's where I think Harberg has the bigger advantage than Sims with that. So I think it shows. I mean, obviously, both touchdowns have been from Harberg to Fidone, and I mean that catch that Thomas made on the sideline was phenomenal.
The throw and catch, Harberg had a guy hanging on his shoulder. Fidone did. I think he got even the second little toe drag. He might have had an NFL.
He had them both in.
Yeah, that was
in my viewfinder. They were both in.
That was impressive for sure.
Yeah. So it's nice to see. I mean, feel really good for those guys.
Absolutely.